every YouTuber, every analyst, every person that is in sports media is going crazy last night and going crazy right now. What we witnessed last night with the 76ers versus the Timberwolves. And I'm here to say, push the brakes, calm down. We haven't got to see them play in more than one game. I understand that it's extremely exciting to see James Harden actually happy about basketball and actually seem enthusiastic about playing on a team and being able to be in an environment where he feels happy. That'll probably last about 3 months. I also want to say that I feel like this 76ers team has been the process within Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons for so long. And I feel like the one thing that we have seen again about the process is that they are unable to stay healthy. And that's something that we've seen throughout the whole course of Joel Embiid's career. And what's been a knock on Harden for the past couple of years is that James Harden can't stay healthy. I do want to add that I feel like wherever James Harden has been, if he's happy, he's a top 10 basketball player in the world. Wherever James Harden is unhappy, he's not even in the top 25. Because when James Harden mentally unasserts himself from a situation, he just doesn't play basketball anymore. Like with the Houston Rockets, we saw that. Like 30, 40, 50. Like Harden's MVP years were absolutely ridiculous. That's one of the best scoring stretches that we've ever seen from an NBA player of all time since he was putting up Wilt Chamberlain-like numbers in the postmodern era, which is absolutely insane. So that's a big point that I took away from that game last night. Like, push the brakes, calm down. All they did was beat the Timberwolves. If this team can stay healthy, which is with a lot of teams like the Brooklyn Nets, which I don't know if they can, this team is going to be scary. That's the only thing that I don't believe in this team for. They gave up a lot to get a little back. They gave up a lot to get a lot back, but I do not like giving up Seth Curry and Drummond, because now if Harden goes down, it's basically the same team that you had without Ben Simmons, minus one of the greatest shooters in the world and the best backup center in the league. Now let's switch it over to Knicks Heat. Heat win. Pretty thrilling game. RJ Barrett lost his mind, 46-8. That is an incredible performance from RJ Barrett. I've noticed with those two stars for a while that they both never have a good game on the same night. Like RJ Barrett will have 40 and then Julius Randle will have 20, or vice versa. Randle will have 50, 46, and then RJ Barrett will shoot 3 for 15 from the field. Knicks might not make the playoffs. Don't think another starter. I don't think another star is gonna want to go to the New York Knicks. That's another thing that I've definitely thought about when I was watching them. Just the culture of New York Knicks basketball has not been good for the last 30 years. I guess you could say with Patrick Ewing and John Starks that team had a good culture. But as far as when we think of Knicks basketball, we haven't seen winning Knicks basketball back to the Phil Jackson era, which is the 70s, when he was actually a player. Most people wouldn't even know about that. So that's a big takeaway that I had from the game. Another takeaway that I had that I feel like Tyler Hero definitely should have been an all-star. Hero is a guy that's team is first in the Eastern Conference and played almost every single game up to the All-Star break. Jimmy Butler sat out 20 games, and that was kind of something that I felt like was a knock on Tyler Hero, because he's averaging 22 points and he's the best scorer on the number one team in the East. I think he should have made it over Chris Middleton, and I think if we're going based off what the All-Star game has been entitled, and I think it's stupid, but they say that record matters. If record didn't matter, Jaylen Brown should have been an All-Star as well, but they say record matters. So I think Tyler Hero should have been an All-Star for you Heat fans. Spurs-Wizards. Spurs win in a double OT thriller. I actually missed the first 3 quarters of this game. I turned it on. The score's like 75-75 at the start of the third quarter. And then we're in overtime, and it's 145-145. I look at the box score. I'm like, holy shit. DeJounte Murray has 20. Lonnie Walker has 20. Jakob Poeltl has 20. Kyle Kuzma has 20. No Beal or Porzingis. This team is going to be scary if they're healthy. Like I said earlier, I don't know if an NBA team is surrounded by if with health is bad. You know, Porzingis is an all-star if he's healthy, but Porzingis has had an inability to stay healthy for the last 2-3 years of his career. Kuzma is scary. 145, no defense being played. DeJounte Murray puts up a shot at the end of the game, goes out of bounds. They have a chance to win it with Chris Bird. Popovich is irate that DeJounte Murray didn't take the last shot. A really interesting game. Probably like I was sitting on the edge of my seat the whole time. If you do get a chance, go check out just at least the fourth quarter and the overtime of that game. Pelicans Suns. Pelican wins. The Pelican team really does look legit. If you haven't checked out my other Zion video, go look, scroll down on my channel. You'll be able to see that. CJ McCollum has had a string of really good games. 30, 38, and 32 since coming to the Pelicans. He hasn't scored under 30 points since he came to the Pelicans. Minus it's a small sample size for the whole season, only 4 games. But if Zion gets there, Ingram, I think this Pelicans team is a playoff team for sure. I think they can. I don't think they're a playing team. I think they could be a 6 or 7 seed if the whole team can be there the whole entire year. I think Zion needs to check his attitude and check whether he wants to, because I think this Pel team on paper is extremely scary. And then on the other side of the ball, the Pelicans, it was pretty much a blowout in the fourth quarter. Beat the Suns. And I was thinking the Suns are really going to struggle without Chris Paul. And I feel like the Suns are going to sit here and be like, wow, we can't win games. And I think we're going to see the Warriors, who are 4.5, 5 games back, coming up and up and up. And then we're going to see the Warriors and the Suns like a game behind, because Chris Paul, as people want to say, as mediocre as Chris Paul is, 14 and 10, whatever it is throughout his career, as non-superstar, non-showing up in the playoffs, when Chris Paul's on the team, he's a glue to the team. And he's the glue that holds them together. He's a lockdown defender. He gets Booker in his spot. When Booker has to carry the offense, as far as passing and scoring, it's hard. When Booker can just be the scorer and catch and shoot and drive and go to the bucket and do all those things, it's a completely different game when you're asking Booker to do both. So that's a question that I have with the Suns. How low are they going to fall in the standings? If they're already losing to this Pelican team that's been struggling the whole year, what's going to happen when they they're going to go into a strength of schedule and face good teams, and what's going to happen to the Suns? Are they going to lose 5 in a row, or are they going to be a team that can hold it together? Is Cameron Payne going to step up? Pacers Thunder. Pacers fans thought that they won this trade with Sabonis. That's what I was thinking the whole time when I was watching this game. I was thinking, okay, yeah, everybody was happy that we got Tyrese Halliburton. Like, let's throw a party. We got Tyrese Halliburton, but then we can't even beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. Shea had 38 points, or 36. He just got to the basket with ease. Every single time I saw Shea drive, he was just getting to the basket. The Pacers' interior defense without Sabonis looks horrible. I thought Jalen Smith would be a big upgrade defensively, because we know Sabonis as an offensive center, but it just seems like this Pacers team is going to be mediocre for a while. Tyrese Halliburton helps out the team, but then you give up one of the best centers in the league, and that is something to me that is too much to lose. We see the Kings been struggling lately, but I feel like Sabonis is a better player than Halliburton, so I don't know. We look back at that trade and we're like, did the Pacers really fleece the Kings? Did the Kings really fleece the Pacers, or did they both get exactly what they wanted? Mavs Jazz. Jazz win. Close game up until the fourth quarter. Jazz go on a run at the end. I was just watching this thinking, like, damn, the Jazz are such a good basketball team. Like, not fun, not super exciting. They're not going to wow you unless you just, like, pass, screen, roll, pass, screen. Something that is just basic basketball that they're just extremely fundamentally good at, and they're definitely a fun, boring team to watch. The team chemistry is incredible. Their coach is Yale. He's just great at drawing up plays. Donovan Mitchell fouled out in that game, and they were still able to beat the Jazz. One thing I do have for the Mavs on the other side is you have to play Moses Brown. You have this center that nobody's really got to see. You don't let him develop. If Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has been backing this kid, since this kid was in college and high school, Kareem is like, this kid is the next whatever. Like, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar knows talent. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is a top 3 player of all time. Play this kid, Moses Brown. He's obviously has some potential, and I saw that potential on Oklahoma City Thunder. They lost Porzingis. Powell had a good game last night. Brunson needs to step it up. This Mavs team will lose in the first round again if they don't expand that center position. Raptors Hornets. Hornets blowout, and they lost 8 of their last 10 games, so it was good to see the Hornets actually win a game, and it's good for my Celtics because we're going up in the standings. Rozier, Harrell, and Oubre all had 23-plus points, which is really cool because LaMelo and Bridges played bad. So it's nice to see those role players step up on the Hornets. I've been saying that all year, that you know what you're going to get from LaMelo and you know what you're going to get from Bridges, but is Gordon Hayward, is Kelly Oubre, is Montrezl Harrell, are these guys, is Rozier going to be on fire? Are they going to have a good game? Because with the Hornets, it's been all year long. Are we gonna win 10 in a row, or are we gonna lose 10 in a row? It's because part of that is definitely inexperience. I think this team will make the play in. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs just like last year, but they really need a gel. And then as far as like their scoring is incredible, but I feel like they need to be like, okay, we need to work in on the defensive side of the ball, because LaMelo is just an extreme liability when he's out there defensively. This morning, Pistons versus Celtics. Peyton Pritchard comes in off the bench, scores 20 points off the bench. The Celtics defense in the second half really turned it up. I feel like they were going to blow their game. They're 13-2 in their last 15, and they've won 15 of their last 20, and they would be on a 13-game winning streak right now if they didn't lose to the Pistons by a Cade Cunningham buzzer beater last month, or before the All-Star break. This Celtics defense is incredible. If you look at the point guard position, you have Pritchard backing up, who's one thing that I worry about him switching on defense, but you have Derek White and Marcus Smart, who are lockdown defenders. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford. Jason Tatum is a great individual defender, so is Jaylen Brown. In the zone, sometimes off the switches, they do tend to get bullied when it becomes to a big man coming on them. And then Al Horford is a player who's been a lockdown defender and I think deserves some all-team defensive votes, and Robert Williams. And then we have Grant Williams off the bench. So this team's defense wins championships. I don't know if that's true, because we've seen I don't know if that's true, but defense definitely wins you games. The Celtics have the best defense in the league. This is something that it needs to be respected. I'm not trying to jinx it, but I do think that this defense of the Boston Celtics is something that needs to be feared by the leagues. They are 20-2 when they hold opponents under 105 points, and they've done that in half their games. If you're going up against the Boston Celtics, they're suffocating defense, and it's hard for opposing offenses to get good shots. I saw the Nets without obviously KD and Kyrie, but they struggled to even just get open looks. There was 4 seconds in the shot clock, and Patty Mills was just heaving a three-pointer from half court. So yeah, this is my recap for this last night. I'll be coming in here tomorrow too. Let me know if you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. I also want to tell you in the comments, what do you guys think of the Phoenix Suns? Will they be able to keep it afloat while Chris Paul's out? And like always, I love you guys.